Vietnam, a land of rivers, rice paddies, bamboo groves, and small villages. For centuries, women were the backbone of family life, raising children, farming, and preserving traditions. But when foreign powers arrived, everything changed. French colonizers imposed heavy taxes, seized rice and resources, and tried to suppress Vietnamese culture. Resistance movements flared in every province. And in these struggles, women were never absent. They carried secret messages, sheltered fighters, and sometimes even picked up weapons. From the Can Vuong movement in the 19th century to the Yen Bai uprising of 1930, women quietly shaped the resistance. But their role grew larger in the mid-20th century. During the wars against foreign powers, the image of the Nu Du Kich, the Vietnamese guerrilla woman, emerged with unforgettable clarity. Ordinary mothers, daughters, and sisters became extraordinary fighters. They blurred the line between civilian and soldier. In a land where villages were battlefields, women became scouts, fighters, and guardians of their homes. They wore O-ba-ba blouses, conical hats, or checkered scarves. They looked like farmers, yet beneath their modest clothes was fierce determination. They ambushed enemy patrols, planted traps, guided soldiers through rivers and swamps. They carried supplies, tended the wounded, and protected villages. To the enemy, they were shadows, appearing suddenly, striking hard, and disappearing into forests, tunnels, or the safety of their villages. One legend was Tịch, a farmer's daughter from Tra Vinh province. She was a mother of many children, yet she transformed into a fearless guerrilla. Her famous words echoed across Vietnam. "Even if I only have a piece of cloth left, I will still fight." Her courage inspired both men and women. Another legend was Vo Thi Sao, a teenage fighter from Dat Du. She joined guerrilla activities while still in her teens. At 17, she was captured and sentenced to death by the French. She walked calmly to her execution, singing patriotic songs, refusing a blindfold, facing death with open eyes. Her bravery turned her into a martyr, remembered through generations. Her name is still honored in songs, shrines, and stories. In Siu Chi, women helped dig and maintain vast tunnels stretching for miles. Their smaller frames made them agile in narrow underground passages. They carried ammunition, food, and even wounded comrades through the dark tunnels. Every tunnel became a lifeline of resistance. In Ben Tre, women led demonstrations and uprisings. Grandmothers in black pajamas marched together with sharpened bamboo sticks, facing soldiers with guns. Their courage became an icon of the Han Kai movement. The uprising showed that resistance was not just the duty of men, but of every villager. Life was harsh for guerrilla women. They worked the fields by day, fought by night, and cared for children whenever possible. Meals were simple: cassava, sweet potatoes, rice with wild vegetables. They endured hunger, fatigue, and constant danger. Training was intense. They learned to assemble and clean rifles, plant traps, march long distances, and disguise themselves as ordinary villagers. A guerrilla woman could appear as a farmer selling vegetables, a fisherwoman, or a weaver. Yet in a moment, she could transform into a fighter. Songs and poems carried their spirits through hardship. Women sang folk tunes by rivers and fields, voices filled with sorrow and determination. These songs became weapons of morale, uniting villagers in the darkest nights of war. International journalists and photographers were fascinated by these women. Images of women with rifles and conical hats spread worldwide. To many, these images shattered stereotypes. They proved women could be warriors, leaders, and strategists, not only victims of war. For women's rights movements worldwide, the guerrilla women of Vietnam became powerful symbols of strength and resilience. Today, their stories are preserved in museums, statues, literature, and songs. Glass cases display Obaba clothes, conical hats, rifles, and black and white photographs. But their true legacy is not only in museums. It lives on in the idea that courage knows no gender, and that love for one's homeland can transform ordinary people into heroes. The Vietnamese guerrilla women were real flesh and blood, mothers, daughters, and sisters who made extraordinary choices in extraordinary times. Even now, their image endures. A young woman in a simple blouse and conical hat, a rifle across her shoulder, standing firm amid scarred fields. Gentle yet unyielding, ordinary yet extraordinary. Their legacy is one of resilience, sacrifice, and strength. What part of their story moves you the most? Do you think their role changed how society views women in conflict? And how should we honor their legacy today?